Yeah! And I'll show you that stuff that's sitting on the bench right now. What is up, my peoples? Welcome back to Ryan Campbell Soup to Nuts. It's a pleasure having you here. Really is, from the bottom of my big old heart. Thank you. Please consider subscribing. Give me a like, comment, all that good crap that everybody says. I appreciate it. With that being said, today's video, I'm going to be putting all the fluids in the vehicle into the 350Z twin turbo project car. It is fluid time, baby! You are tuned in to Ryan Campbell Soup to Nuts. So like I mentioned earlier in the little intro, I'm going to be putting fluids in, not the engine oil yet because I still need a little fitting for the oil return line off of the turbo. So basically if I put any engine oil in, it'll just dump straight out. So I'm not trying to have that happen. So besides engine oil though, I mean that's easy to fill up obviously, but I'm not putting the coolant in either. And pretty close. I have to get the intercooler piping and all that stuff back on before I could put the power steering reservoir and pump. I mean the pump's on, but the power steering reservoir and the cooler as well. So I gotta get that. Actually, I have to put the cooler on. Actually, I have to put the cooler on before I put the piping on because the intercooler. It goes behind the intercooler, so I have to have the intercooler out of the way to put the cooler on. So, good thing I thought of that. So basically, I'm putting in the trans fluid. The rear diff already has the fluid in it. So I'm putting in the trans fluid, which is gear oil. I'm putting in the brake fluid, which is brake fluid. And I'm putting in the clutch fluid, which is also brake fluid. And after that, I should hopefully be getting to the power steering stuff as well. I'm going to be kind of intermixing. I should have the intercore pipes in the next day, or tomorrow really. So this video I'm probably going to just drag it out a few days just to get all the fluid stuff like in one video. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Pick up what I put down, damn it. So, trans fluid, brake fluid, clutch fluid. Then after the intercore piping is on, which will be in this video, I'll do the power steering fluid as well, which is automatic transmission fluid. I'm using Motul fluid for all of it, and I'll show you that stuff that's sitting on the bench right now. Alright, here is the brake fluid I'm using. Is obviously for the brakes and also for the clutch fluid. I did replace the clutch line to a braided line, so that's why I have to do that. Obviously, previous videos, I did replace all the brake lines, the rubber lines. I put stainless lines in there and replaced the brakes as well. I put the Brembo brakes on the car, so I got to do that. Then this is for the power steering. Dextron 3. You could also use Nissan Authentic or Nissan automatic transmission fluid. You can use that, or you can use Dextron. I wanted to use Motul. And then here we have the fluid for the trans. So this is gear oil. I do have a little bit left over from the differential. But this is for the transmission. And for the transmission, to get it pumped up, I'm going to be using this guy. Fluid. It's basically a fluid transfer pump. So I'm gonna put one end of the hose into the bottle, and then the other end of the hose goes into the fill in the transmission. So that's going to make this easier. Otherwise, you have to gravity feed and try to, like, you know, put a long hose from up top. It's kind of a tight spot to get to. So this should make it easier. Here, this is for the brake fluid. And here, this is for the clutch fluid. So basically, I would just fill them up here and here. And then I'd have to bleed everything out. So for bleeding the clutch, I mean, you're not going to be able to really see it too well. I might just get under there with the camera just to show you, but it's going to be hard to set up. But it's basically down. Basically, it's on the slave cylinder, which is mounted on the side of the transmission, almost like straight down here underneath the car. And then for bleeding the brake fluid, I'll put a link up here for brake fluid, for how to bleed brake fluid. Because I go into more detail in the video, I'll put up here. But basically, you go to each caliper. And then here, there's 2 bleeder screws on these brakes. The link I have is for bleeding for, on one side, but it's basically the same process. But I would bleed from each screw. You go from furthest away from the master cylinder here to closest on the car. So you would start rear right, then you would do rear left, then you would do front right, and then front left. So you start furthest away and you come closest. If for some reason you have a right-hand drive car, then you just switch it. You would do rear left, rear right, then you would do front left, front right. Basically, the distance-wise, you go furthest to closest. So I'll be time-lapsing all that. I'm going to time-lapse. I'm going to try to hopefully get underneath to see the transmission of transferring the fluid into the transmission. But basically, where the fill hole is, I'm going to put the tube into the fill hole, and then basically just keep filling it up until it starts dripping out of the fill hole, and that's how you know it's full. So I'm going to start with that, then fill up these fluids, and then I'll probably do the clutch fluid bleeding. I'll bleed the clutch fluid, and then I'll bleed the brakes. I'm going to time-lapse all this stuff. If I run into problems, I'll come back to video, but I'm going to time-lapse. I'm going to start with the transmission fluid, then I'll fill up. I probably won't time-lapse showing me filling up the reservoirs, but I'll show bleeding. Hopefully I can get an angle for bleeding the clutch, and then I'll show bleeding the brake lines. So you'll see a whole hell of a lot of time-lapse. If I have a problem, I'll bring video back. But if not, you'll see a lot of time-lapse, and then I'll come back and basically tell you everything's set to go. And, kind of conclude the video and give you a little synopsis for you. It's been a while. There's been a big gap in between my fluid fill-up situation. You already saw in this video that I put the brake fluid in, did all the brake bleeding, all that crap. I put the trans fluid in, and I did the clutch fluid, blood the clutch. All that crap is good, but there's been a gap. That's actually, in my life, that's been a while ago. In your life, it's 30 seconds ago. The magic of movies, right? So, with that being said, I got everything else situated. I had a lot of problems with intercore piping, which you'll see in other videos. But that's all situated. I had to kind of get that all figured out and straightened out before I did all the full final mounting of low power steering stuff. So now, gonna fill, power, steering, fluid. And I might as well at this point throw in also the oil, and I'm also, for starting the car up, I'm just going to run water in the radiator for now to get it going, and then once everything's good and works and there's no leaks, no problems, anything like that, then I'll dump that and put coolant in. But we're going to do the other fluids now. There you have it. The fluids are in. They're in the car right now. You saw it. Got all the damn fluids in. Obviously, I got to crank over the engine to get the oil to circulate, fill the filter, and circulate throughout the engine, etc., etc. Then check the level again and then refill it. So that's going to be another video, though. That's going to be part of the startup video. Basically, I'm going to start it. Have the fuse pulled out for the fuel pumps. That way it won't actually start because I want to build up oil pressure first, especially since it hasn't been running in such a long time. It's a good thing to do. Just have a few things buttoning up left to do before the actual startup video. A few sensors here and there have to get plugged in, and some zip tied wires off, that type of crap. Some vacuum hoses have to get hooked up. Nothing major, nothing crazy. It just has to get done. So stay tuned for that coming up. I also have I have to do a little bit of work on the daily Nissan Murano. That's coming up as well. And just stay tuned. No matter what the hell I'm doing, you're gonna like it. 'Cause I told you so. Like it, damn it. I actually like this video. I'd really appreciate it. Please give me a subscribe down here, a thumbs up. That'll help this channel grow so I can keep giving you more good crap. Good crap. You want the crap to be good or you want it to be bad? You want it to be good, don't you? Well, give me a like, damn it. Like it, damn it. And subscribe. So stay tuned for all that good crap coming up very shortly. In the meantime, drive fast. Take chances.